what's going on? So, very interesting, very exciting Spanish GP. A lot of change, a lot of debacle situations that happened there. Charles, unfortunately, losing an opportunity to further his lead in the championship battle between Red Bull and Ferrari, as Mercedes just recently climbed into the ring with their last bit of updates, yielding some very positive results, as we saw in the Spanish GP, now becoming competitive with the top two teams, Ferrari and Red Bull. But unfortunate end for Charles. Hopefully they get together. Saw kind of a correlation of problems between the Ferrari power unit, seeing how Zhou also ended up being retired, having a Ferrari power unit, and Charles definitely losing power while being far out ahead. So hopefully Ferrari gets that on board. I doubt it's going to be something significant that's going to keep them out of the battle. But let's talk about these Spanish GP fans. I found it offensive. And it's funny that people always claim that these certain epithets or things don't exist in Formula One, but obviously they do. There's a sign out there, the Spanish GP says, Hamilton, Russell is faster than you. And I was wondering, why were there no other fans or other signs that these particular fans developed for what clearly could be made for other teams? I think this situation kind of comes into the play. Like, I want to ask you, have you ever in your life seen an ant trip? Have any of you ever seen an insect ant trip? You probably never noticed it if it ever did happen, if it ever happened. Have any of you seen a human being trip? You've probably seen that a bunch of times, right? You noticed it. You probably didn't feel it, but you noticed it, took notice. So you might have laughed, you might have helped. But I guarantee you, if a giant trips, you're going to feel and you're going to notice it. Even if you don't see it, you may feel the event happen. And this is what has happened with Mercedes having issues with their new design. But with that has also been an increased amount of unfair and biased and even sometimes racist criticism that has been directly aimed at Lewis Hamilton. And I get tired of people saying this is not true, and this is obviously true. They decided to hang this Hamilton, Russell is faster than you signs. Well, I went back and just looked at some things as far. I think this was taking place during practice and qualifying. So it's only fair that I take some time during qualifying. And there are several other teams on the grid that have a bigger difference between their drivers than Mercedes. So as for in Spain, you had Aston Martin at some point in time had 0.464 gap, a little bit over 4/10 between their drivers. Mercedes 0.119, Ferrari 0.416, Red Bull 0.347, McLaren 0.184, Williams 0.270, with Aston Martin having the bigger gap between drivers. Mercedes actually having the lowest gap between the drivers in some qualifying rounds. All right. Yes, Russell has placed in front of Lewis several times this season, probably aside from Bahrain, or Hamilton had the first podium for the team. Russell recently got podium 3. Congratulations to him, which, we pop bottles on finale lap for that. That's something we're doing. Got to get a new one. But let's go to Miami. Aston Martin had a 0.177 gap between their drivers. Mercedes 0.363, Ferrari 0.190, Red Bull 0.045, pretty damn good. McLaren 0.676 and Williams 0.059. McLaren having the biggest gap between their drivers. So where is that sign? Where was the Aston Martin sign pertaining to their drivers instead of Mercedes sign, who clearly had a lower gap between their two drivers than other teams? And we'll even go to Italy. Imola. Aston Martin 8.162, Mercedes 0.381, Ferrari 0.594, Red Bull 1.809, McLaren 0.611, and Williams ended up having a DNF for one of the drivers, so I really didn't count that. If you did, it would be a full minute. I think it was in 29 seconds or something like that, but it wouldn't be fair. But my point is this. There are teams with other pairs that are having bigger gaps between their laps. Yet these fans choose to say Hamilton Russell is faster than you. Yeah. Okay. Well, what else have these fans done? You know, we've had other situations in the Spanish GP like this. Blackface, which is ultimate disrespect, which is definitely racist. So for all you people to say racism is not real, or racism is not in Formula One, or racism is that's it's not something that's happening, or you're just trying to use the race card. This right here is racism at one of its highest as far as display in blackface with white t-shirts saying the Hamilton family. And you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 idiots that thought this was a good idea to display blackface upon Lewis Hamilton while at a Formula One GP. So I would love to say that I would love to see everybody who claims that this is not real, that you're using the race card. What is that? That's clearly racist. But although negative things do take place where you have good, there is bad. You know, you do not know a good situation unless you've been through a bad situation. You do not appreciate a good situation unless you've been through a bad situation. And then you do not fully recognize a bad situation until you have been through a good situation. Like both of these things happen in your life on either side of the spectrum to help you understand where you are. Big shout out to fans doing something positive. That was a very nice thing. Lewis Hamilton took notice of that. And that was a pretty damn good gesture. Pretty cool. They put the dog in that trophy. Still I rise. So, you know, it's not all bad. And I'm showing this to be fair to fans that were there that did not participate in said negative situations. All right. Not everybody's partaking in this negativity that people are doing. You right now are having the experience for these last years of watching one of the greats in Formula One history be on the back end of his career, yes, but still performing at an elite level now with a car that is competitive to his rivals that are also competitive. It is asinine for people to say it is only the car with Lewis Hamilton being a 7-time world champion, but you not apply those same dynamics to Max, who clearly could have those dynamics being last season, especially with the massive stimulus. Or you do not apply these same dynamics to Schumacher, who definitely had issues when he got with Ferrari and had to get a better car, build a better car, test a better car, develop a better car to then again become competitive. You do not apply these same dynamics to Senna, who it goes to everybody, right? But for some reason, people like to just illicitly use this to discount Lewis Hamilton's career and all of his accolades that he has accomplished to be among the greats, while others are still trying to work their way to even be mentioned as far as having the potential of being with the greats. I found this very disrespectful. I found what Spain has done thus far with this collection of displays just disrespectful. I'm not going as far as to say it doesn't need to be a Spanish GP, but I'm going as far as to say that it's right here. So I don't know why people will try to debate that. But in the hindsight of all of the bull, Mercedes managed to grab podium. Russell got third. Hamilton did an excellent job with the fact that he was basically damaged in the first lap, in the start of the race, having to pit with damage to the car and then be placed, falling back to like 19th, working his way to gain fourth place and then having to give it up due to the team orders of saying that there is a potential DNF situation with the car as to overheating. We need you both to lift a little bit so that we surely make it to the end of the race and collect these points, giving back that position to Carlos Sainz, who was solo out there as Charles had got retired due to functional issues, and Hamilton getting fifth while Russell gets third. Clearly obvious that there are a lot of teams slower than Mercedes and a lot of drivers slower than Hamilton. Just saying. So it was a very interesting race. This was one of the sad parts of the entire event. So, you know, we got more things coming. A lot of people showed up for the finale lap. If you haven't showed up for a finale lap, you need to. Excuse this last one, as like I said, we popped bottles, maybe got a little bit off my rocker, but we still had fun. Very good communication and participation in the chat is always a very good time. And a lot of people earn their points towards getting one of these VIP boxes. If you don't know what that is, make sure that you attend a premiere or a live. There is a trailer that plays before that to explain the VIP box system. It is my way as a content provider to then again give back to my viewers and Wolfpack fam and everybody who participates in the chat during lives or premieres. Something that I do to give back to you all to show appreciation. So we're going to move on to more valid things that people need to definitely be focused on instead of ridiculing, criticizing, demeaning, discounting Lewis Hamilton. And I'm not taking his side for obvious things that dumb people say, like because of the color of my skin is the only reason why I like Lewis Hamilton. Who does not like great people? Like, you don't like Tom Brady, you don't like him because he's great, more than likely, unless you personally met him. You don't like Wayne Gretzky, you don't like him because he's great. More than likely, if you haven't met him. You don't like LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Jude Dumars, or Isaiah Thomas, or Kareem. You don't like them because, you know, they're great? No. We like naturally people who are great in their right in their sport. And Lewis Hamilton is that, has been that, and will retire as that, as he should. All right, just build it. Peace. Thanks for tuning in and watching another video here at Wolfpack Performance. Check out some of my other content on Formula One issues, our topics, and our DIY products on how to customize your vehicle. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. See you soon.